This is Sunday's car boot haul. So it looks like a pile of junk at the moment, but that basically is because I haven't got a lot of counter space at home at the moment. So just talking you through it, I'm going to talk about the fails too, because there were quite a few. It was a bit of a mad car boot where you had to really be quick to get stuff because there were so many resellers there. And some of this stuff I've picked up is also for my daughters. So first of all, Bop It Extreme 2. I haven't seen the pink ones before. I know they exist, but this one I paid £1.50 for. And around about Christmas time, these fetch about £25, so they're always worth picking up. You've got to get the Bop It 1 or the Bop It Extreme 2 though, because the other moderner versions are not worth a lot of money. So there was a store that got all these bath bottles too, and there was all sorts. Probably should have picked up more. I picked up this Biker Mice from Mars for £1 from there because you don't see that sort of merchandise out there much, and it's really popular at the moment, quite collectible. So I probably only turned about £10 on this, but still, it's really nice to have in your shop. There was a lady that had a load of Radley stuff, so this Radley purse here only cost me £1. The problem was I didn't pick a lot of it up because it's really beat up and old. And I looked into it afterwards and realised that some of these vintage Radleys, like purses and bags, are worth quite a lot of money. So this is quite old, quite beat up. But some of these can go for about £30, so I think this one here is not going to be worth a lot, in all fairness. She did have a load of Radley handbags too for £5, but again, they were all kind of like beat up, like this. I don't know if you can see. Just a lot of fading and stuff going on. A lot of wear and tear. So I picked up these t-shirts too, because you can't go wrong with these. These are band t-shirts. Now, a lot of them are reproduction, so it's not the official 1988. I should only be so lucky. But it was Guns N' Roses merchandise, as you can see here. So I think these t-shirts can fetch up to about £10, probably a bit more. It depends. I also picked up Iron Maiden. It's all £1 each. Again, this is 2016, so it's official band top. And I picked up finally a Motorhead one. So I've got to look into this one a bit more. Obviously, it's modern. It's double stitch, as you can see. And the brand is by Energy, which is quite a good brand to look out for on these t-shirts. That's probably going to be about a tenner too. I came to a store that had got loads of cycling stuff, and I realised that my knowledge just was not there, so I left a lot behind. I picked up this one top. It's still new and sealed. It's still got its original tags on and everything. Don't know what it retails at. It doesn't say. But yeah, it's just quite a fun sort of Weetabix cycling top. Paid £1 for it. Not actually worth a lot of money, these aren't. They're only worth about a tenner at a push. The thing was, though, he had hundreds of these. Well, he had loads of biking t-shirts, cycling t-shirts. But he had loads of these Weetabix ones, so I probably could have made quite a bit of money if I had picked them all up. But it is what it is. This was a bit of a fail, really. I paid £5 for them, and as you can see here, there's 3 full books of cards. It's all Warcraft stuff. It looks like, I've seen afterwards though, he's got a sheet in here with all the prices. So some of these cards can be worth a lot of money. I didn't see that. Just because of the sheer volume of them, I paid £5 for the lot. I've got hundreds in here. I very much doubt there's going to be any rarities. So it's the sort of thing you won't lose money on. You can always sell it again. You can always sell them again at a car boot. Probably make a few pounds extra. I've got to go through all these cards though, and I'll let you know if I do find any like really decent ones. So, what else did I get? Some VHSs, some drop-in stuff. So we've got Rosie and Jim here, and we've got another one which is just children's favourites from the 80s. I will pick up that biking seat in a minute. Got it. There we go. So Rosie and Jim is a bit of a funny one because So Rosie and Jim, it's a bit of a funny one because Sometimes it can fetch like £6 or £7. Sometimes it can fetch 15. It's always worth picking the Rosie and Jim up though when you see them on VHS. The cartoon favourites I've not really searched yet, but as you can see, there's Sylvanian families, Popples, and Care Bears on there, so it's got to be worth something to someone. These I just picked them up, and I don't know why I did, completely random, because they're only worth £2 or £3 each on eBay. But I just thought they'd probably bundle nice. Paid £1 for them. It's just loads of movie stuff, you know. There's all sorts. There's, I think there's some of the older stuff, the older classics too. So I picked them up. I just think they're quite a fun thing, really, to own. You know what I mean? I could probably do something with these in terms of getting some of them framed and looking at selling them that way. This one's really interesting. It's the bicycle seat. So it's by Sella Italia. These are actually very, very expensive to buy. I paid £4 for this one. This one's an SLR. I think if you can get certain ones that have got... There's all different brands of these seats that are worth different money. This here is probably worth about 30 to 40. I have seen some sell for more. But again, it depends what sort of bike seat that you've got. These were for my daughters, who are big Nintendo DS collectors, so they're only £1 each. This one was a bit annoying because I went to this store and I saw these and I was checking them, as you do. I was checking all the boxes like this to make sure the games are in them. And as I did that, this guy came along and picked up 2 Mario DS games. Completely missed them. That one's my fault. That's what you call when you have that early in the morning sort of feeling where you're tired and you kind of miss stuff. This one here was quite interesting. It's a Romeo and Juliet VHS, and it's a limited edition. Now, obviously, everybody knows the film's coming out again, so I thought I'd jump on that bandwagon a bit, get a bit of merchandise. And good old Google search. Never trust Google search. Did a search on this and it came up £6,000. Obviously, it's not worth £6,000. However, the interesting thing about it is none of them are listed, which is, you know, I'm thinking this is great. I could probably put 40 quid on it. However, when I opened it up, it all appears to be there. You know, there's new and sealed posters and memorabilia and the VHS, but there should have been a CD in here. So, because I'm missing that CD, it's incomplete. So I paid £2 on that. I'm probably lucky if I can get 20 because it's incomplete. So I'll let you know how I get on with that one. Right. So obviously you've seen if you're on my TikTok, you've seen I've put a video up about these. These are Nike Air, no, not Nike Air Jordans. Yeah, they are Nike Air Jordans, yeah. So I've seen these and obviously the red and white stood out and I grabbed them. I thought they was a bit light at first, which was a bit annoying. And it was a kind of a case of, I don't know if these are fakes. I think 90%, maybe even 99.9%, they are fake. But they're really good fakes, because if you look at the sole, the Nike is really good. The Nike logo, the stitching's pretty good, pretty decent. You turn around on the back, that's the first sign. Nike's Nike Air Jordans didn't have this part, this little logo on the back. A lot of them didn't. And the second thing is the tag. I don't know if I can get the tag on camera. It just says Vietnam. Vietnam. It doesn't say anything about Nike or anything, which threw me off. So I typed in the code. There's the code there, and it did bring Nike up as one of the searches, Nike Air Jordan. And it's kind of one of them things. I might have to go on an app called Check, which Car Boot Chris was telling me about. It's an app where you can actually authenticate clothing, although I really don't think these are genuine. So I paid £3 for them anyway, and I think they're a really nice sort of thing to have. Sort of thing I could probably give to my daughters or something, or just use as a comparison if ever I do pick up any genuine Nike Air Jordans as to what a fake looks like and what an original looks like. So now I'm coming to the heartbreaking bit now. Because at the car boot I made a really big mistake. And it kind of like the story fits in with this wrestling sticker book that you can see here. So what I did at the start was I did what most people would do at the start of a car boot. The first thing you do is you ignore all the dealers, house clearance guys, and you go straight to all the cars that are just coming in, just literally setting up. As I was doing that, I saw this guy walking around with a big pile of sticker books, and I just made out two of them in his hands. So one of them was 1967 football book sticker album, and the other one was the World Cup one. So these sticker books, he must have had about 20 of them. Excuse me. He must have had about 20 of them, and most of them, as you can see from the pictures above, are worth in the hundreds. I couldn't tell whether these sticker books were full or not because they were closed, but even not being full, you're still looking at very good money on them. And this was all that was left when I went. There was this, there was a Batman, and I said to him, did you have any more sticker books early? And he said he had about 50 of them, and most of them are football. So I knew straight away then that this was the store that I'd missed earlier that had all these sticker albums. I picked this up because it's from the 90s, it's wrestling. It's not worth a lot of money because it's not complete. It's worth about £7, that's all. So some collector would love that, and I'll probably put that on Marketplace come up to Christmas time. So right now, we're getting near the end of my haul. There's not a lot. So these are more for my daughter. She started collecting these fugglers, and they were £1 each. And sometimes you can get a few of them that are worth a lot of money. Fortunately, that's not really the case with these ones. So I paid £5 for 5 of them. It's not really a problem to me because my daughters will take them off my hands. I think this one here is worth 10 to 15. Yeah, this one's worth about 10 to 15. And this one here is worth about 10 to 15. The rest of them are all worth about £5 or so, unless you bundle them up. You could probably bundle them all up for about 25 if you wanted to. But I'm going to let my daughter have a look for them first. If she hasn't got them, then she can take a few. So a big shout out to my partner Stacey here with these caps, because she spotted these, and you know, some of the Lewis Hamilton ones can fetch quite a lot of money. So first of all, got a Mercedes Petronas cap. So these go for about 10 to 15. You know, it's been used, but it's got the Monster logo underneath. Some of these can fetch a lot more. This Lewis Hamilton one here is worth about 30, but if you look at the state of it, I don't know if I can redeem that. I really don't. I'm going to try, get it all cleaned up. It's a great cap. It has got another defect, and I'll show you just right now. If you look inside, somebody's wrote their name in it, so it's really been devalued. It's quite dirty inside too. So if I get it cleaned up, I'll probably be looking at about 15. Paid £1 for all these, and this one here is only worth about 8, but I just took it anyway because I do collect caps. So it's probably one that I'll end up wearing myself at some point. So we'll see. So, right, the last few things really now. These were a big fail. I mean, the Nike Air Max are pretty decent to pick up, but they don't fetch as much as I thought they would. So these, I paid £5 for them. I'd seen quite a few pairs of Air Maxes. The Air Max 95 around the car boot. Most people were selling them for about 15 quid, £10 sort of like. So when I seen these for a £5 note, and I just literally just snapped them up. They're only worth about 20, maybe 30 at a push. But the problem with these is somebody's took the inner soles out and they absolutely stink disgusting. I didn't notice this at the time, but the smell is absolutely horrendous. I'm going to leave them outside to air and see if I can recover them a little bit. The soles are a little bit ratty too. So that was what you call a rush buy, when you're sort of rushing through lots of people. Okay, 2 more things. Maybe 3 more things actually. So these, this was just £1 buy. It's a School Candy, new and sealed headset, it's only worth about £8. That was just a complete gamble, so that was a fail. And of course, because I'm a bag collector, I don't know if you can see this, picked up this Puma, and it's a 1980s bag. I've been picking up loads of these. I've got head bags, Puma bags, all sorts. So just a final recap on something I left behind. So what I want to do each week now is have a quick recap on some of the stuff that I left behind, just to sort of learn. So these are McFarlane Walking Dead figures. She had another two that are not pictured. And she wanted £5 each, but wouldn't do a deal. So it would have been 35 quid. In hindsight, I probably should have took them, but I'm just going to show you why I didn't. So if you look at some of the completes here, you see that some of them sometimes sell for about £5, £7 or £8, and other times they can sell for as much as £15 to £20. I've also tried to sell these before, and they take a very long time to sell. So it was a bit of a touch and go whether I should buy them or not. I decided to leave them because I haven't got the money to invest in too much stuff at the moment. But looking back, I probably should have picked up the Riot Gear Zombie, because the completes are very good on that one.